Attraction is not created by chasing. It is created by presence. It is not built by effort. It is built by energy. Most people are running toward what they want, not realizing that the act of running is the very thing destroying the desire they're trying to create. Today, we break that cycle. Today, we talk about power, control, and what actually works. Chasing is weakness in motion. It communicates one message as, I need this more than I need myself. And the moment that message is sent, attraction dies. The chase puts the other side on a pedestal and pushes your own value into the dirt. Nothing powerful grows from that position. What works instead? Stillness. Stillness says, I'm solid, I'm grounded, I'm not desperate for validation. Real attraction is not pulled, it is provoked. It is created when your life is full, your direction is clear, and your energy is calm, controlled, and self-owned. The strongest presence in the room is the one that doesn't need approval. Stop performing, stop proving, stop begging with attention. Build purpose, build discipline, build an identity that doesn't bend. When you stop chasing, you don't lose anything worth keeping. You gain respect, mystery, and gravity is what pulls everything toward you without saying a word. Neediness is the silent killer of attraction because it turns desire into dependence. The moment a person begins to seek validation, approval, or reassurance from the outside, their inner position collapses. Attraction does not respond to someone who is trying to fill a void. It responds to someone who is already whole. Neediness broadcasts insecurity without a single word being spoken. It shows in the posture, the tone, the pacing, the way someone waits for a response, the way silence feels uncomfortable, the way attention becomes currency instead of a gift. And once that signal is sent, the dynamic changes, respect fades, curiosity disappears, power shifts. At the core of neediness is fear, fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. But fear is not magnetic. Fear does not create desire. Fear creates pressure, and pressure suffocates connection. When someone moves through the world needing external affirmation to feel stable, their presence becomes heavy, conversations become transactional, actions become performances. Every move is driven by the hope of being chosen rather than the confidence of already being enough. That mindset leaks into behavior, over-explaining, over-texting, over-giving, over-committing, over-investing before anything is built. It is the fastest way to devalue one's own presence. Strength begins when the dependency ends, when attention is no longer used to fill emotional gaps, when self-worth is generated internally instead of being borrowed from reactions. The shift is subtle but seismic. The body relaxes, the voice steadies, the eyes stop searching for permission, the energy becomes calm, anchor, unshakable, and that calm becomes the signal of value. People are drawn to those who do not need them to survive, but who choose them from abundance. That is where attraction is born, in freedom, not in attachment. Letting go of neediness does not mean becoming distant or cold. It means becoming complete. It means operating from self-respect instead of self-doubt. It means showing up with interest, not hunger. Curiosity, not craving, present, not pressure. When neediness dissolves, something powerful replaces it, grounded confidence. And grounded confidence changes everything. It transforms interactions, shifts dynamics, and quietly commands attention without ever demanding it. Giving attention too freely is one of the most misunderstood mistakes people make when trying to create attraction. Attention is energy. It is time, focus, emotion, and intention combined into one currency. When it is handed out without its value, not just to others, but to yourself. The moment attention becomes automatic instead of intentional, it stops being special, it becomes noise, and noise never builds desire. When someone floods another person with constant availability, instant replies, endless compliments, and unlimited access, they believe they are demonstrating interest. In reality, they are eliminating mystery, erasing anticipation, and collapsing their own leverage. Attraction thrives on contrast. It grows in the space between interactions, in the moments of absence, in the feeling that presence must be earned rather than assumed. When attention is unconditional, it removes the incentive to invest. There is no challenge, no tension, no excitement, only comfort. And comfort alone does not create attraction. Value is never communicated by how much you give. It is communicated by how carefully you give. When your time is protected, your focus is selective, and your energy is not constantly available. It sends a powerful message. My life is full. My world is moving. If you want access, you step into that world, not the other way around. That stance is not arrogance. It is self-respect. And self-respect is deeply magnetic. People instinctively pursue what feels valuable. Scarcity creates importance. Not artificial scarcity, not manipulation, but genuine fullness. A life driven by purpose, goals, routines, growth, and direction naturally limits availability. Attention offered from that place carries weight. It is not empty validation. It is a deliberate choice. And deliberate choices create emotional impact. When attention must be earned, conversations deepen, presence sharpens, interest intensifies. The other side begins to invest emotionally, mentally, energetically, because human psychology is simple. We value what we work for. Effort creates attachment. Investment creates desire. When someone begins to invest, attraction strengthens without force. The shift is internal. Stop chasing with attention. Stop over giving to secure connection. Build a life that commands your own focus first. When attention flows from self-respect instead of insecurity, it becomes powerful. And powerful attention does not beg, it invites. Desire does not grow in constant contact. It grows in the quiet moments in between. When interaction becomes continuous, predictable, and uninterrupted, the emotional system has no room to breathe. Everything that creates attraction, curiosity, anticipation, imagination, longing is born in space. Without space, there is no tension. Without tension, desire fades into familiarity. And familiarity, while comfortable, is the enemy of excitement. When someone applies pressure through constant presence, constant communication, constant availability, it sends an unconscious signal of urgency. Urgency feels like need. Need feels heavy. And heavy energy suffocates connection. The mind needs room to wander, to replay moments, to miss what is not immediately accessible. That process cannot happen when everything is always right there. Attraction requires rhythm connection, followed by separation, engagement, followed by distance, presence, followed by absence. This rhythm allows emotions to deepen instead of flatten. Space does not mean withdrawal. It does not mean ignoring or avoiding. It means allowing life to continue unfolding naturally without forcing outcomes. It means having enough confidence to let things breathe. When space exists, emotions have time to grow, thoughts settle, interest matures, the absence becomes meaningful. The next interaction becomes charged with energy instead of drained by overexposure. Pressure, on the other hand, creates resistance. The more someone pushes for closeness, the more the other side unconsciously pulls away. This is not a personal rejection. It is a natural psychological response. Human beings protect their autonomy. When that autonomy feels threatened, attraction shuts down. But when freedom is respected, connection flourishes. The strongest presence is not the one that is always available. It is the one that is fully present when it appears, then disappears back into a full, moving life. That contrast creates depth. That contrast creates intrigue. That contrast creates desire. When you allow space, you communicate confidence. You show that your happiness, identity, and stability do not depend on constant reassurance. You show that your world is rich and evolving. And from that place, attraction grows effortlessly, not through control, not through pursuit, but through the natural pull of emotional gravity. Self-respect is the foundation of all attraction because it defines how you allow the world to treat you. The moment you compromise your values, ignore your boundaries, or tolerate behavior that makes you feel smaller, your presence loses strength. Attraction cannot survive in a space where self-worth is negotiable. People respond to the way you respond to yourself. When you hold your standards steady, you communicate power without speaking. When you abandon them, you silently announce insecurity. True self-respect is not loud. It is not performative. It shows up in the decisions you make when no one is watching, the routines you keep, the promises you honor, the discipline you maintain, the boundaries you protect. It is visible in the way you walk away from situations that drain you, the way you refuse to chase approval, the way you decline what does not align with your values. That kind of consistency builds an internal identity that cannot be shaken by external opinion. When someone operates from self-respect, their presence feels solid. There is no frantic energy, no emotional bargaining, no hidden agendas. There is calm, there is clarity, there is certainty, and that certainty creates safety, the kind of safety that allows attraction to deepen instead of dissolve. People are naturally drawn to those who are rooted in who they are because stability is rare and deeply compelling. Self-respect also teaches others how to treat you. When your boundaries are clear, your time is valued. When your expectations are steady, your presence is appreciated. When your standards are non-negotiable, your energy is not taken for granted. This is not about control, it is about alignment. Those who belong in your life will rise to your level. Those who do not will remove themselves. Both outcomes strengthen your position. The most magnetic quality a person can develop is not charm, looks, or status. It is unshakable self-respect. Because from that core, confidence emerges naturally, not forced, not exaggerated, just present. And when confidence is grounded in self-respect, attraction becomes inevitable. A life without direction feels empty, and emptiness always searches for something outside itself to fill the void. That is why purpose is such a powerful force in attraction. It creates internal fullness. When someone knows where they are going, what they are building, and why they wake up every day, their energy changes, their movements become intentional. Their time becomes valuable, their presence becomes focused, and that focus is magnetic. Purpose gives structure to identity. It replaces uncertainty with clarity. Instead of drifting from reaction to reaction, a person with purpose moves with direction. They are not chasing stimulation. They are building something meaningful. That alone transforms the way they carry themselves. The voice steadies, the posture opens, the mind sharpens. There is no rush, no desperation, no hunger for validation. Everything operates from inner alignment. When your life is driven by goals, growth, discipline, and vision, attraction becomes a byproduct rather than a pursuit. You stop asking how to be desired because your world is already full of momentum. You are no longer waiting for attention to feel alive. You are alive because you are moving forward, and that movement creates gravity. People are drawn to those who are going somewhere. Purpose also protects you from emotional dependency. When your days are meaningful, your sense of worth is not tied to external reaction. Rejection no longer shakes you. Silence no longer unsettles you. Approval no longer controls you. Your foundation is internal. That independence creates emotional stability. And emotional stability is deeply compelling. A person without purpose seeks connection to escape boredom, loneliness, or insecurity. A person with purpose seeks connection to share growth, experience, and life. That difference changes everything. One creates pressure, the other creates invitation. One drains energy, the other expands it. When your life is built around purpose, you become selective. You do not waste time. You do not tolerate misalignment. You do not cling to what does not serve your direction. That selectiveness increases your value because it reflects self-respect and vision. And when someone stands firmly in their own path, attraction follows naturally, not because they ask for it, but because they embody something rarer, a life in motion with meaning. Confidence is not something that appears the moment someone decides they want it. It is constructed layer by layer through action, consistency, and self-trust. Every time a person keeps a promise to themselves, they reinforce their own credibility. Every time they choose discipline over comfort, they strengthen their internal authority. Over time, this creates a deep sense of certainty, not loud, not arrogant, but unshakable. That is the kind of confidence that transforms presence. True confidence does not come from compliments, approval, or external success alone. Those things are temporary and unstable. Real confidence is born from knowing you can rely on yourself. It is the quiet knowledge that no matter what happens, you will adapt, respond, and continue moving forward. That belief is built through experience facing discomfort, taking risks, surviving setbacks, and proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you once thought. Confidence grows in the moments when no one is watching, in the early mornings when you train instead of sleeping, in the evenings when you work on your goals instead of escaping into distraction, in the choices you make when it would be easier to quit, postpone, or avoid. Each decision strengthens your self-image. And self-image shapes behavior. Behavior shapes identity. Identity shapes everything. When confidence is built this way, it becomes natural. You no longer need to convince anyone of your value. You no longer over-explain. You no longer seek permission. You listen more. You speak with clarity. You move with intention. Your energy becomes grounded. That grounded energy is what people feel long before words are exchanged. As confidence increases, so does emotional independence. You stop relying on reactions to determine your worth. Towards praise feels good, but does not define you. Criticism stings, but does not break you. Rejection becomes feedback, not a verdict. This emotional resilience allows you to remain centered in any environment. The most powerful confidence is not visible in how someone performs, but in how little they need to perform at all. It is the calm presence of someone who knows who they are, what they are building, and what they stand for. That confidence cannot be requested, borrowed, or faked. It must be earned, and once earned, it becomes the strongest force in attraction and in life.